Hey everybody, I hope you are doing well. I am Afefe with Touch by Tarot, and I'm taping this on Easter Sunday for those of you who celebrate the holiday. Blessings, and for those of us who, may not celebrate the holiday, but hey, it is a great day to be alive, right? We're celebrating life. How about that? I think on that we can all agree. All right. I am going to do a general reading. I was led to do that this morning during my meditation. Going to do a general reading for the collective, all signs for the week of starting today, April 9th through the 15th, okay? I want to look at our blessings, what's going to go our way, the good energies that are going to come around, what we can anticipate, some challenges, because we know that's just a part of life, and always advice from Spirit, okay? So I'm going to do a combination of my usual, a combination of tarot and oracle. You all, please don't forget, I am offering 2 tarot courses starting in May. I did a taping on it before announcing it. I'll link it to, I'll find the link and put it in the description box here. But I'm doing 2 courses. One's going to be more intermediate for those of you who are pretty well versed in tarot. And that one is called, I'm calling it What You See Is What You Get, because we're really going to go into the visual aspects of tarot and sort of, if we had to put all the books away and all of the definitions that we've learned, and really, we're always told, use our intuition when we're doing, when we're reading tarot. But how do you do that? Well, I think one way to go about it is to really train yourself to connect to what you're seeing visually, right? And then you construct your narrative from that. You understand the story and what's being relayed to you from that. So anyway, more on that. And then I'm also doing a course for beginners, because I've had a lot of people reach out to me and say, listen, I want to learn how to do this. Tarot is exploding right now, and I love it. I love it. And so I'm happy to teach, and, from that starting base, really helping you understand tarot as a system, but also making it very relatable so that it doesn't seem like this, complicated thing that you've got to wrap your head around, but really make it relatable. I said, tarot is the best friend you never knew you had, right? All right, so more on that later, but I do want, registration is going to close the end of this month. So if you're interested, I'll give you the information. I hope you'll join me. It's going to be good. All right, you all. So the energies for the week of April 9th through the 15th, the good, the maybe not so good, challenging, and advice from Spirit. Let's see what we get. And I am sending you all lots of love. I was led to pull out my big rose quartz sphere as I was doing my meditations and sitting with the cards this morning. So I've anointed it, I've prayed with it, and I'm sending you that energy, each and every one of you. All right, we can never have enough love. So, all right, let's take a look at our blessings, our challenges, and advice. One more. Blessings, challenges, and advice. All right, I can tell you already, Spirit is talking. Let me get some oracles. That was tarot. Let me get some oracles down on the board, and then we'll do some interpretation, okay? Let's see what's happening here. Thank you all while I'm doing this. Thank you all, those of you who are new to my channel and, my new subscribers. I really appreciate your presence. I love your comments, your feedback. I take none of it for granted. And, let me know if there are certain readings that you want. I keep saying it, and it's just my schedule, but I am going to start to do more lives where I can take your questions and then go on a live and answer those questions for you. And so, I'm going to do more of that. Let me know what you'd like to hear, topics that you'd like to hear. As you know, if you've been with me, I always check in with you. I do a new moon and a full moon, pick a card. And then I tap into a little astrological stuff. Occasionally, I will also tap into, my little political tidbits. But I'll tell you all, so much is happening. And I try to, my focus is always going to be on empowerment and motivation and giving you all as much inspiration as I can. That gets a little tricky when we get into that political realm, right? Because I don't know about you, but I can get really worked up and just so frustrated and, just angry. My energy just kind of gets, kind of sparks up a little bit. And so I try to keep my focus more what I feel like is sort of in our control, what we can control, and how we can, you know, handle our business. And that's not to turn a blind eye from any of that. Trust me, I'm checking things out, and I will check in with you guys from time to time. But just so you know, in case you were wondering why I don't do more of it, I feel like my energy and my calling and my purpose is more geared toward helping you, you know, stay on track with your purpose, where you're going, what's going to keep you motivated, what's going to help heal you and give you clarity around why you're here and how you can live a better life. That's something we're all interested in, okay? All right, let's go. I got everything on the table. So the blessings, we have time, healing, getting grounded, angelic assistance, we'll take it. The Empress and the Chariot. Whoa. All right, well, and I'll show you the cards. Right off the bat, you all, this is an extremely powerful week. Ooh, I just got a burst of heat. Let me turn my fan on. Ooh, okay. Spirit is here. Wow. You all are doing the work. Point blank, period. Clearly, just from these two alone, they call it in this deck, they call the Empress, see, that's the number 3, they call her the creator, because that is what the Empress does. She brings that creative energy with the Chariot, okay? So this is something that is in motion for you all. This is something that you are literally applying your energy, and I feel like this is very psychic oriented, like your psychological and your subconscious and your higher self really being involved in growing something. You have learned to turn to that aspect of yourself to begin to trust it more, not just what you see, but what you know you can see, what you believe is possible. And that's that Chariot energy where that's willpower. That is, you know, that's that solar plexus energy that says, no matter what, I am moving toward my goal. I am building something. I am creating something that is necessary to me. And what is necessary? And to do it, in order to do it, I'm getting grounded. Look at that incredible pose and that incredible energy. This is from the Work Your Light Oracle, right? I'll list the decks as well for you all if you're interested, but check that out. So that's getting grounded to do it. This, even though you're using a lot of spiritual energy right now, but you're doing it in a very pragmatic, practical way. Like you are, it comes to you in your thought and your mind, and you're like, right away, let me write this down before I forget it, or let me light the candle, or let me, you know, water the plant, or whatever it is that you've got to do to bring it into existence, to bring it into the 3D realm. And that's you getting grounded to do it. Like you're going at it. I love this for you all. So this week, it is about getting it done. It is definitely no holds barred. And in doing so, you are healing. You are healing. And I get the feeling, because of the presence of several in this card, you're helping to heal others. As you heal, those around you feel that healing energy. And again, we're looking at this week, starting today, the 9th through the 15th. This is very immediate. There's a discipline. It says time underneath it. I mean, discipline underneath the word time. Look at that. This is, wow, this is beautiful, you all. Because what it's saying is, with that angelic assistance, it's almost like there's a meeting of the quote unquote minds between you and your spirit team, between you and your soul and your higher self. And there's a decision that's been made that's going to, like, this week, right? You're going for it. You're absolutely going for it. Whether this is a project, this is something in the real world. This is not just something in the idea phase. This is something that you are literally putting into motion, and your spirit team is like, we are right here with you. For every step that you take, We are going to help you see what the next step is. That's the blessings from this week. There is momentum with that Chariot. There are ideas, there are mechanisms that you know to put in place to get it going. That's that Empress energy. Here it's called Creator. All right. You're definitely feeling in touch with your higher self right now. I don't know what you have done, but you have done something. Like, it's like if there were some cobwebs, those things have been cleared out, okay? At least for the time being. And I think what's driving you, that's why the healing card is here, is because you have made a conscious choice to heal those areas of your life. I feel like for some of you, it is financial, in terms of your relationship to money, in terms of your relationship to wealth in general, not just dollars and cents, but what you have around you that is of value. There's some healing around that. There could even be, if you've denied yourself something over a period of time, and gradually you are learning and coming to a realization, hey, it's okay for me to go after what I want. For some of you, this is even going someplace, taking a trip, going on a spiritual retreat, being around others who are in that, like a healing circle, you know, whether that's yoga, whether that's, prayer, meditation, whether it's just talking to people, but there's something where you are being led in a direction, that movement, that Chariot. You have made up your mind that this is what you're going to do. And there's a discipline around it, because I think you've given yourself perhaps even a period of time to get this underway. For instance, from now to the end of the year, I'm going to save this amount of money, or I'm going to adjust my diet and, 10 pounds, I'm going to lose that. Like, there's some sort of structure that you're putting around it. Okay. I'm going to build my business. I'm going to, I'm going to take better care of my body. I'm going to love those around me in more demonstrable ways. Okay, there's a definite structure that you're putting around it. Now the challenge is, it's awesome. The challenge is breath, asking for help. That's a tough one for a lot of us, right? Unbound. Ooh, this is talking. A portal, movement with the world, and the Five of Cups. Some challenges, right? There could be a little anxiousness that you're feeling in regards to what's the ultimate outcome of this thing going to be, having made the choices and the decisions, and knowing that you are, you're taking practical steps on whatever your goals are at this time. But there's still that lingering question about, okay, if I do all of this, what's the payoff? Is it going to go my way? And this is really what Spirit is saying, is there's still a challenge that you're going through. See, here it says unbound, but notice too, we had that Five of Cups. There's an emotional struggle that some of you may be having with, you believe in yourself and your ability to do whatever this is, right? Whether this is related to your work, your home life, your love life, your health, whatever area that you're really focused on in the week coming, right? Or a combination of those things. You believe in your ability to take the steps to do it. We saw that clearly in the first part of the reading. But there's still that part of you that feels a little vulnerable, a little, just a little bit of second guessing going on in the back of your mind. And what Spirit is saying there is remembering too, with that breath, remembering the power of breath, the life-giving. It literally says life above the word breath there in that small print. Okay, remembering that as you breathe it in, breathing in what your intentions are, and breathing out that second guessing or any fears, and not being afraid to ask for help. Remembering too that you got that angelic assistance card that came in your blessings area for the week. So your angels, your guides, your ancestors are definitely speaking loud here and saying, ask us for help, talk to us. It's not all on you. It may feel like it is because we're in that 3D world, right? We're the ones here on earth in this human body doing it. But they're saying no, but it is not all on you. Ask for help. Very important that came with knowing that you got that angelic assistance card as well. And notice too that that angelic assistance came from an entirely different deck. You all know that's why I read with multiple decks, because then I know when we get that cross reference between different decks, is no question that this is spirit talking. This ain't a fefe. This is coming from spirit. All right. So you have different decks, and your angels, your team has shown up to say, we're here for you. We're here to offer you that assistance to get you over that hump. Recognizing that for all of this can do, will do, creative, going for it energy that you're applying, which is awesome. You're still human, and there are going to be those moments when you have a little doubt. There's going to be some times during this week coming, that you may feel like, okay, I've done all this. Now, where's my results? I sent the messages. Why is no one calling me back? Or I tried to have the conversation and this person wasn't receptive, right? Those kinds of things that can make us sit back and go, well, wait a minute. I'm doing my part. I'm putting forward. I'm standing on my faith. I'm journaling it. I'm bringing it to life. What now? That's why they're saying, ask us, because there's some area that there's still something with that unbound and that 5 of cups. There's some area that you're still working out the kinks of letting something go so that you can continue to move toward what you really want. For many of you, I do believe this is in the area of work/health. If you are identifying with an illness or an ailment or disability or any sort of discomfort, if you have begun to identify with that, for example, my high blood pressure, my arthritis, my diabetes, right? We begin to identify with those things at the same time that we're taking the steps to heal from those things. That's just an example. So there you have it. There's that sort of, you've got to really release the identification with what's bringing the discomfort, my isolation, my lack of love, my whatever it is that's had you in that 5 of cups energy, that sense of loss or disappointment, those emotional setbacks. You've got to think about how you are identifying with it and making that shift. That's why you got that unbound. All right. I hope that's making sense. So you got to, I'm seeing an image of, a shoelace, like a sneaker tied up, right? And if you say you want to wash the shoelaces, you gotta untie that sneaker and take it, slowly but surely take that string out of all the holes to get it, right? It's a process. That's it. It's a process. And what they're also giving you is a portal. So the challenge is taking advantage of that portal, finding the time to really connect with yourself. There's going to be a juggling act, if you will, this week between, on the one hand, you are in get it done mode. You are in get up and do what needs to be done mode, but you also need that time to connect with, check in with your guides. I think those two work hand in hand. That's that angelic assistance, and that's that asking for help. That's the portal that you're going through. It is, and see it as a portal, not just as a portal says, I'm here and I can see my way through. I know that there is some mechanism, there is something that connects me from here to there. That's what they want you to go through, is to see it as a portal to them. Not just they're out there somewhere, but to see it almost as, a pathway, like a trail. Like if I start here and I go in this direction, I'm going to get to the other side of it. And that's what they're opening up for you. And it also says here, I'm attracted to, it says infinite mind in the small print. Okay. And then you will get beyond it, because your last card there was the world. So there is a completion. You will get untied from something this week. You will have a revelation about it. You will see a new way to go about it so that you can continue to move on, even if that is just a shift in your consciousness. But it's not something that you can just presto change or flip, snap your fingers and do it. There's a process that you're going to have to go through to connect with the higher wisdom, those who are here to help you during this time, to begin to maybe even understand why you had to go through that situation, maybe even recognizing that you are still bound to it. It could be something that you think that you've released years ago, but somehow there's some lingering energy around it. Like if there's lingering resentment over, someone who treated you unfairly in a work environment, or someone who betrayed you in a romantic situation, a family situation, so many things that we go through. And we're so busy moving on, that chariot, right? We get so busy moving on that we sometimes don't even realize that there's still those ties. For those of you who understand cord cutting, and if you don't, I'd recommend you look it up, okay? Because that could be a whole reading unto itself. But there could be some cord cutting that you have to do. And so look into that if you're not familiar with that as a concept. There could be some cord cutting that you have to do, and that's how you get unbound this week. Advice? All right, Spirit, come through. I see you. I love it. It's a reminder of your magic. In a word. I'm going to show you the cards, but that's in a word. They want to remind you. Spirit wants you to be reminded of your magic this week. They want you to be reminded of the fact that you are, it is about that mind, body, spirit connection, and not to go all too far in one area of your life. To remember that you are here to experience and continue to evolve. I am drawn. I'm really drawn to this innocence. All right. To be, and when we think about innocence and being in a state of innocence, certainly we think about children and the idea that, we're just that potential to learn and to do, and feeling very limitless in our potential. There's a return to innocence that you're being called to. That's the advice for you this week, right? There's a return to innocence, and it comes, you got snow, but the key word there with snow is silence. It feels like I'm almost seeing like if you could go back into a womb space, a safe space, if you could even, in a practical level, I'm seeing some of you like, when you go into a sauna, and you got your towel wrapped around you, and it's just this, that say you're in a gym, and the gym is full of people, and, weights are clanking and all of that, but in that space, you're sitting there and you're detoxing and you're letting your body and your cells warm up, right? It's a womb space. It's a silent space. It is a space where you go and remind yourself of your limitless potential. That's the innocence. That for all of all the tough lessons that you've learned, that we all learn going through life, there is still the potential for innocence and to go at something with a sense of wonder. That's that infinite possibilities that we're seeing too in the beginning of the reading. Going for it and believing in it and trusting in it. Dance with life. Check it out, you all. Dance with life. Okay? There's a sense of innocence and wonder in that energy. Dance with life this week. Go with the flow. Come on. Different decks, you all. You know how I do it. Go with the flow. Go with the flow. Dance. Release. And understand that, and I think that's why they're saying ask for help and assistance, because that allows you to feel more innocent, that allows you to feel more relieved and playful. You have the Four of Wands celebrating. How well does that go with that dance with life and going with the flow? Letting go. The key words here, letting go, cleansing, and receiving. Letting go, cleansing, that unbound that we got, right? Getting lighter, letting it go. cleansing and receiving. Now, the cleansing I'm feeling for some of you could be a good old-fashioned cry. Nothing wrong with that. Literally letting it go and creating the emotional space then for you to receive and to understand that your innocence is still intact for whatever may have happened that made you feel a little disenchanted, you know, in the work world, in your personal life, in your love life, whatever caused that disenchantment. Don't lose that part of you that believes in wonder. That's really what's happening here. Don't lose that part of you that believes in wonder. Go with the flow. How divine. With that Four of Wands, that celebratory movement, completion, some of you may be looking at moving someplace different, and that's going to be a brand new start for you. Or doing something, just really switching into a different stage of life that's going to require commitment, because a Four of Wands, very often it indicates marriage as well. It's a marriage card, but it is the foundational aspect of something that is going to last. And there's reason to celebrate that. All right? With that dance with life. And I saved the best for, well, not the best, because they're all these cards have been good. But I saved the magic one for last. And you got the Magician. You got the Magician. Spirit wants you to understand that you started out with all of this go, go, go for it energy. You know, that's the blessings that you have this week. There is going to be a way made for you. There's going to be some momentum. You're going to feel yourself knowing what to do and having, you know, the keys put in the locks and ready to go. But then you're also going to realize that for all of what you're doing, if you're not seeing the results that you want, you know, if you're repairing a relationship, or you're dating, or you're doing things, you know, with your partner, or in the workspace, wherever that is, if you're not getting the return on that in the way that you would expect based on what you're doing, then that kind of gets in your head, some of that. So you got to get unbound from whatever that is. You got to be able to release that. Cord cutting came up strongly for you. And finally, Spirit is saying, listen, bottom line is you are good. You going with the flow of life, dancing with life, recognizing the Magician, creating life. Your reading started out with, remember, you got the Empress, which in this deck is referred to as the creator. Well, what does the Magician do if not create? But the Magician also creates through Spirit. The Magician uses its tools. You got that portal earlier, remember? That's your portal to Spirit, to continue to, if to the extent that everything that you are doing relies on somebody else, a doctor, a lover, a husband, a wife, a child, a coworker, relies on somebody else's response to solidify what it is that you're trying to do, Spirit is saying, don't count us out. Remember what we can do. Remember how we can show up. And then you play your part to go to them and ask for that assistance and put your magician hat on. Mercury, speak it out loud. Get that internal dialogue going with yourself. That could also be why we got that snow card, that silence, because you're going to need that time to reconnect with them. And that portal, going through that portal, that's like going through it. I wonder, even maybe this will be a visual for you all, like walking through the snow, in the silence of the snow, but you're walking with Spirit. Okay? Incredible week ahead of you all. And us all, I should say. I always put myself in the mix. Let me know what you thought. I'd be really interested to hear how this week flushes out for you all. And I'll talk to you real soon. Bye.